Welcome to Life of Larkin Storytime. This is episode number 2, and I am Johnny Wilde, and I am your host. Let me get my little notes out here. Thank you for all your comments and questions from the last story time. First, I need to say this story time is not training, and this is not about food. This is for entertainment purposes only, and I hope you enjoy it. This time we're out in the park. You may get a little wind. You may get people walking by. I'm not exactly sure what you're going to get, so a little disclaimer. I got a lot of questions about food, such as where do I start, what portions are appropriate, where do I get it. Once again, I'm not going to cover all of that here. I'm going to say just a few little quick things, and then you're on your own. Sorry. But here's the first thing I will say. There's a movie out there called Pet Fooled, like April Fooled, Pet Fooled. It's on Amazon Prime, it's on YouTube, and it's a great resource. That's where I would start, is that documentary, Pet Fooled. Another great resource that I would point you to is a website called Perfectly Rawsome. Perfectly Rawsome. Ronnie is the owner of that website. I know her. She's a nutritionist, and I would go there and start researching. That's what I did when I got started. I didn't have, there's a lot of information out there, and you get what you pay for. In other words, you've got to just research it and start somewhere. Hope this wind is not killing you. Let me look at my notes here. Okay, in the United States, there's a great resource where you can buy raw pet food, and that resource is Raw Feeding Miami. I know some of these questions come from Canada. I can't tell you in Canada, but Raw Feeding Miami is where I get a lot of it. And also, I get a lot of it. I got this question of, what about butchers? Yes, you can go to your local butcher and say, do you have anything left over? Now, I want to say one extra thing on raw feeding. I'm always hesitant to recommend raw feeding, because people will then just start putting raw meat in the bowl and say, okay, we're raw feeding. It is very important to balance it. That's where you get in trouble with raw feeding. You've got to balance the meal. And there are some things, like, for example, vitamin E, that you just cannot feed enough food to get vitamin E, for example. So you've got to add some vitamin E. You're going to have to add some extra vitamins in it. And that's where hiring a nutritionist can help you. I've researched, I've used a lot of nutritionists in my years, and I think Ronnie is probably the best nutritionist. You can hire her. She will give you a recipe specific for your dog's activity, if it's a sport dog, if it's just a pet dog, what your dog is doing. And then you will have that nutritionist, you will have that recipe for life. And then that's what I do. And then I just, use it and make meals. And I did get this question. I'm going to try to answer it. If you don't want to do DIY, there's a company I like called All Provide that I trust. Probably going to hear the birds. Sorry. We're going to try this outside. You have to let me know if you like it outside or not, if it's too, I can't control the environment. I like All Provide. I'm not going to, like I say, I'm not going to do a deep dive on raw feeding. You're going to have to do some research. But there's a thing you have to watch for is food manufacturers, when it's deemed not for human consumption, they denature it. And that's a coloring that they put on there. And I don't want to feed my dog food that's been denatured. So for me, I stick to human grade food. And so that's just something you need to watch for as well. But I like All Provide, that's pre-made, and that's really the only one. There's a lot of manufacturers. I don't know that they ship to Canada. I know I have some viewers in Canada that leave some comments. So research. Perfectly Rawsome is a great website. And also, Raw Feeding Miami has a lot of good articles on their site. So next, let me get to what's next on my list here. Where do I get my food? I covered that. Okay, so next I think I figured out how to put some photos in this video as I'm editing. So that's the next thing I was going to cover. And I covered, where I got Larkin and testing Larkin. I thought this was interesting. You may find this interesting as well. The testing process to get Larkin was very high level, and I kind of say that jokingly. They tested the puppies. I wanted a female, so they tested the puppies out in California with a stick. And I'm going to insert some photos somewhere. I may be pointing in the totally wrong direction. Hopefully I can get this done. I think I'm going to put them right there, hopefully. So as I'm talking, you're going to see some photos float in here. They tested the puppies with a stick, nothing fancy. And which puppy would be interested in this stick and in carrying the stick, because in a working puppy you want to see possession for the toy, possession for the man, later in possession, later in protection. So you're going to see floating in here these photos of these puppies and the stick. And you'll see as the photos roll by, there was only one puppy that kept interest in this stick. And the puppy was this one. And you'll see that the blondest puppy, this, I got lucky in this because I said earlier in a video that I wanted the blondest puppy. You will see that it was this puppy that always won out fighting the other puppies for the stick. And no matter what, she was fighting the other puppies for the stick. And then at the end of the day, you'll see it floating by here, hopefully, that she won the stick and then she's carrying off the stick. And so that's how this little puppy got chosen. And there's other blonde puppies in there, but how you can tell her, you can't see right now, but her chest was also the blondest. So that's how you will know that it's Larkin, and that's how this puppy got chosen. Next on my list, oh, I'm also, after those photos, I'm going to put in a photo of Nicole and Larkin, and it's a great, great photo of Nicole and Larkin. Next is, oh, will be the photo. Oh, that's, sorry, my notes are a little sketchy. Is right after I got Larkin, I had an Airbnb that I took her back to, and you'll see her tucking her little foot, and she still does that to this day. And the last story that I'm going to tell is once I got Larkin home, I asked my dad to come out and take a photo of Larkin and I, because I knew, that she was going to get this size and I wouldn't be able to hold her that much longer. And so I made arrangements for my dad to come out. We have these shrubs at my house that line my garage sort of as a windbreak, which is what I need right now. And so I asked my dad to come out and take a great photo of me holding Larkin. And I knew I would cherish it forever. Somebody just drove up, and that's what Larkin's looking at now. And so he said he would be happy to do that. So we made all the arrangements, and my dad is older, but he knows how to operate an iPhone. And so he came out, and I was holding Larkin, and my dad's working very hard, taking photos. And he said, "Oh, Johnny, you're going to love this photo, that I got of you holding Larkin. You're going to cherish it forever." And so he handed me the phone, and I'm scrolling through, and I found the photo he's talking about. And the photo that he took is right here. And my dad has since passed away, and I'll cherish this photo forever. I absolutely love this photo. As you can see, it's not the photo of me holding Larkin. It's, my dad. He kind of got mixed up there, but nevertheless, it is one of my favorite photos ever of my dad, because he tried really, really hard, and I just thought that was a really funny story. And that is going to end episode 2 of the Life of Larkin story time. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know if you still enjoy this format. Larkin's getting really, really big. She's got 4 little tricks or 4 little treats in there, and we're going to find out in a few days which one it is. Please leave me some questions. Let me know if you like this format and what you want to hear me say next. Happy Halloween, and bye-bye for everybody.